Hello and welcome to Galaxy TV News. My name is Iribami Salako. We begin with headlines. Nigeria's Governors Forum reaffirms commitment to actively engage in shaping amendments that will strengthen Nigeria's constitution by the legislature. Plus, on the news, National Assembly gives President Bola Tinubu permission to borrow 1.77 trillion naira to fund part of the 2024 budget. From the international scene, judges at the International Criminal Court issues arrest warrant for Israel's Prime Minister and former Defense Minister, as well as a masked military commander. Details of these are coming your way soon. To stay with us. Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now, details of the news. The Transmission Company of Nigeria has promised to support states in the discharge of their respective responsibilities on assumption of regulatory functions in line with provision of Electricity Act 2023. TCN Managing Director Engineer Sule Abdulaziz gave the assurance while hosting a delegation from Lagos State Government led by Biodun Kunleye, Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources. The visit is ahead of Lagos State assumption of electricity regulatory responsibilities of the power sector within its franchise under the new Electricity Act. Abdulaziz highlighted TCN's completed and ongoing projects in Lagos, including the ongoing 300 MVA 330-132 kV power transformer, among others. He noted that Lagos is a critical market and efforts would continue to be geared towards improving infrastructure for enhanced power supply. The managing director emphasized the company's openness to collaboration with states and stakeholders to improve bulk power supply. He added that market operator is working to create a conducive electricity market between TCN and state governments, according to a statement by Ndidi Umba, General Manager, Public Affairs of TCN. Earlier in his remarks, the Commissioner Abiodun Kunleye explained that the visit was aimed at seeking TCN support and collaboration as Lagos enters a new phase in the electricity market. The Nigeria's Governors Forum has reaffirmed commitment to actively engage in shaping amendment that will strengthen Nigeria's constitution by the legislature. Governor of Kaduna State Uba Sani disclosed this while reading the communique issued at the end of the 11th meeting of the forum earlier today in Abuja. Sani stated that the forum hosted the Deputy Speaker of House of Representatives and Chairman of Committee on the Review of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, CON, who briefed governors on the ongoing constitutional amendment process. He stressed that the governors reaffirmed their commitment to collaborate with the federal government and development partners to address the challenges and align effort towards achieving SDG 4. Kaduna State Governor explained that the forum engaged with the Honorable Minister of Education on strategies to reposition Nigeria's education system for improved outcomes, adding that the minister provided an overview of the challenges, including out-of-school children and a high rate of learning poverty, particularly in Northeast and Northwest regions.
Chairman of the Committee on the Review of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, CON, who briefed governors on the ongoing constitutional amendment process. The Deputy Speaker emphasized the importance of collaboration between the forum and the committee, proposing the establishment of a one-stop shop framework to align state-level priorities with the constitutional review process.
Speed, taking them through our work plan, what we have achieved so far, and where we are headed. And we've had a robust discussion. And I must say, the governors made beautiful contributions, and they are in support of the constitutional review.
And now joining us to speak on extension of some critical office holders in Nigeria, we have Tolorun Idowu, a public affairs analyst. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Good evening, my dear. How are you?
All right, so the House of Representatives today rejected the bill for 6 years single term for president and governors. What do you think on this?
Well, I wish me to say that it's a welcome idea because I don't know if they are using the 2014 confab as the yardstick for the review of the constitutional amendment. And if the answer is no, then there's need for a confab before presenting that to the National Assembly. Because regional government, as they stand, cannot help us presently because the competition will be too hard on the country. But in the other way around, the regional government would have been the best because it will set a pace to the region to develop their regional state, the security and all that. But for the National Assembly to have rejected it, I think they have their reason, and maybe they've not put one or two together to enable them to say, okay, yes, this bill is visible for the country, but they rejected it because they have their own personality. And one thing I want from them is for the country, for them to let us know what are the reasons why the bill was rejected by the National Assembly. Because people are waiting, they want to know why it was rejected.
Do you think that decision of rejecting the bill, do you think it's favorable to Nigerians, or perhaps it's something they should have considered?
It's not favorable because the regional government would have been the best for us. It would have helped the country to develop the region. In fact, in the British colony in 1967, they introduced regional government. But because of some individual in the country and the military regime, that was what has led to we battling with the regional government. We now came to the central government. But the regional government has a lot of role to play. It will set a competition among the regional states. The country will develop fast, and it will help us to build what we have as a resources to develop every country, every state in Nigeria. So it's a welcome idea. Regional government is the best for me, but with National Assembly rejecting the regional process right now, they must have their reason, which that reason it would have been good and better for them to put it before the public so that we will discuss it. And it requires, I'm asking that they need to put up a confab if they are not using 2014 confab report for the regional government. If they are not, then there's need for a confab. People must be fully enlightened and be involved so that the regional government can take this.
All right, so if we look at what's common in Nigeria, we have a particular governor or a president with their own agenda, and the new one comes in and they sometimes throw away the agenda of the former governor or president and then start their own afresh, and seeing that a lot of things need time to actually grow to fruition. So in your opinion, is the 4-year tenure currently in practice the best for Nigeria if we are always having the issue of the next governor throwing out the project or completely neglecting the project of past governors or presidents?
It is because of their sufficiency, first of all. If it's regional, you follow the blueprint to develop the state. And that is why majority of them don't even want the regional government, because if the regional government is there, you must follow the blueprint. It will be zonal. The governorship of the state will become a zonal issue, where this zone will say, okay, we have a good candidate to present a good candidate. But in the process where everybody is on the race to lead the state, everybody's coming with a different perspective to rule the government of the state. So that is why we normally forget about what we already have as a successor, and we hold on to their own blueprint. You abandon your project and bring out your own. So the regional government would have been the best for me, But the governors are more powerful because they have all the members of the rep, they have the senators with their beck and call, they can always speak out to them, not to even allow this bill to fly. So if they can be sincere with themselves and be sincere with the people of Nigeria, the regional government would have been the best. But because of personal interest, we are suffering as a nation because few people feel that they are in control of the country.
Okay, all right. We really thank you so much for sharing your views with us on our news tonight. We truly appreciate your presence.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, as Olorunju Idowu, a public affairs analyst. Now, moving on with the rest of our stories. Nigeria Senate has given President Bola Tinubu permission to borrow 1.77 trillion naira to fund part of the 2024 budget. The Senate gave the approval on Thursday in plenary after the presentation of a report of its Committee on Liquor and Foreign Debt, headed by Senator Liu Wamako. In a brief remark, the Deputy President of the Senate, Jibril Barau, noted that the decision to approve the new external borrowings of $2.2 billion was in the interest of the country.
Recommendations. The committee recommends that the Senate approval or Senate for approval for 1. The new Senate borrowing plan of 1.77 trillion naira, equivalent to $2.209 billion at 800 naira US dollar exchange rate, to be raised from Eurobonds, sovereign sukuk, and syndicated loans.
I commend the chairman of the committee, the Senator Yama of Sokoto, and members of the committee for a job well done. The report is indeed well packaged and well properly articulated. Consider the fact that the job they had to do took them just 24 hours. This should have been something that would have taken longer time. They show sacrifice, you people show sacrifice for the interest of the country by working around the clock to make sure that you get everything done.
Now, to the Green Chambers, the House of Representatives on Thursday also approved President Bola Tinubu's request for external borrowings amounting to 1.77 trillion naira as outlined in the 2024 Appropriation Act. The loan will be raised through Eurobonds and other sources. The approval followed the presentation of a report by Honorable Abubakar Alaraba, Chairman of the House Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management, during plenary. The motion was passed under the presiding authority of Deputy Speaker Honorable Benjamin Kalu.
To move for the consideration of the report of the House, that the House do consider the report of Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management on request for approval for the implementation of the new external borrowings of 1,767,610,000,000.
Consider the reports of the Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management and request for approval for the implementation of the new external borrowing of 1,767,610,321,779, equivalent of $2.209 billion US in the 2024 Appropriation Act through the issuance of Eurobonds and other sources, and approve recommendation 1 to 5 of the report.
In a separate session, the House also advanced a bill to amend High Court of the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja ACT, passing it through the second reading. The bill seeks to increase the number of judges in the FCT High Court to enhance judicial efficiency. The proposed legislation was sponsored by Deputy Speaker Honorable Benjamin Kalu, along with Representative Babajimi Benson, Akin Rotimi, and 5 other lawmakers.
Is for a bill for an act to amend the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja Number of Judges Act, Cap H6, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to provide for increase in the number of judges in the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and for related matters.
And still with the Green Chambers, the House of Representatives has rejected the proposed bill seeking to introduce a 6-year single term for Nigeria's president. The bill, sponsored by Ikenga Gochinyere from Imo State and 33 other lawmakers, was dismissed during Thursday's plenary session after failing to pass its second reading. The proposed legislation also included a 6-year term for governors, rotation of executive powers among the 6 geopolitical zones, and other constitutional amendments aimed at promoting equal representation and reducing agitation for state creation. Currently, the 1999 Constitution provides for a 4-year presidential term with the possibility of re-election for a second term. The bill also sought to amend Section 3 of the Constitution to recognize Nigeria's division into 6 geopolitical zones, create the offices of 2 vice presidents, 1 each from the north and south, and consolidate all elections, including presidential, governorship, and legislative, on the same day. However, the House unanimously rejected the bill after Speaker Tajuddin Abbas called for a voice vote, with the nays overwhelmingly outnumbering the ayes.
Rise to move that a bill for an act to alter the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended to provide for a single term of 6 years for the office of President and state governors, provide for the rotation of offices of President and state governors and chairmen of local government council among the inherent regions and zones, and to provide that all elections be held on a single day to be read for a second time. I so move.
Those against, you say nay. The nays have it.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. We are glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate you live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. Now moving on to other stories, Finnish Nigerian separatist leader Simon Ekpa has been arrested in Finland alongside 4 others on suspicion of terror-related activities, including incitement to violence and terrorism financing. According to local publications, Ekpa was remanded in custody by the PGTM District Court on charges of public incitement to commit a crime with terrorist intent. The publication reported that the Finnish Central Criminal Police confirmed the arrest in a statement on Thursday, noting that the other suspects were apprehended for allegedly financing terrorist activities. Ekpa is accused of coordinating violent actions against civilians and authorities in Nigeria's southeast region from Finland, using social media platforms to further his agenda. Detective Chief Inspector Otto Iltunen, who led the investigation, revealed the man has carried out these activities, among other things, on his social media channels. The Finnish National Bureau of Investigation disclosed that Ekpa, alongside the other suspects, 2 of whom reside in Helsinki, faces charges of financing terrorism. This is not the first time Ekpa has encountered Finnish authorities. In 2023, he was briefly detained on allegations of fundraising fraud. Ekpa has also gained notoriety for his separatist rhetoric, particularly its calls to disrupt Nigerians' elections. The Anambra State Police Command says it is aware of the shooting incident at Izuchukwu Junction, where security operatives mistook police operatives as unfriendly forces and opened fire at them. The police, in a statement by spokesperson Tochukwu Ikenga, made available to newsmen, said the attack from the operatives was not from non-state actors or any attempt to disrupt activities at the burial of late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah. According to the police, preliminary information showed that security operatives on investigation trailed the suspect to a security checkpoint before the gun duel ensued. Bullets were said to have hit the fuel tank of a Toyota Venza carrying 2 operatives, which led to it being raced down, while 2 passerbys were injured and taken to the hospital. Meanwhile, the Anambra Police Command have called for calm to allow investigations into the incident, as joint security forces have been deployed to ensure Nnewi is calm. Now we move to the international desk for more news.
Hello and welcome to the foreign news. Judges at the International Criminal Court (ICC) has issued arrest warrants for Israel's Prime Minister and former Defense Minister, as well as Hamas military commander. A statement said a pre-trial chamber had rejected Israel's challenges to the court's jurisdiction and issued warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant. A warrant was also issued for Mohammed Deif, although the Israeli military has said he was killed in an airstrike in Gaza in July. The judges found reasonable grounds that the 3 men bore criminal responsibility for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity during the war between Israel and Hamas. Both Israel and Hamas has rejected the allegations.
And that's it for now, but do join us at 9 p.m. for our primetime news. My name is Iribami Salako. See you at 9.